Hi everyone, and welcome to race 2 of the Pro Championship of this first FAI Virtual Wargliding Championship. Good evening, Norman. How are you?
Ça va, Antoine? I'm doing great. Welcome from USA, Florida, and happy to have you back on my side here, commentating this wonderful FAI competition.
Thank you, Norman. We've had race 1 with the class 15-meter class. Let's jump to the results of yesterday and let you comment that, Norman.
Oh, I'm getting smaller. All right, look at that. Here is the first result of yesterday. It's that Marcin May, the Polish pilot, came in and it's really good scoring. And then Anna Martin Güttler, our reigning champion, came in with 1 hour and 21 minutes and 38 seconds for under 897 points. This is the top three, and we can continue with Patrick Medard, Zoltan Varga, Francois Seifert, Sandra Terpestra, Ben Fest, Frank Schwertfeger, and Uwe Melzer, the three Germans, in 8th, 9th, and 10th. And as you can see the rest for yourself, what an incredible race, Antoine. What do you say?
Yeah, it was a very good race yesterday evening, and I really enjoyed watching and commenting the race. Very surprising options as well. Well, a lot of options for the pilots, and in the end, the wave helped Marcin and Sean to get on top of the game. Arne Martin Göttler didn't take the wave, so he's late by 5 minutes behind those two first pilots. Patrick Medard was in the wave, and there was another guy in the wave as well. But as you can see, they didn't made it to the top three, all by flying in the wave. So good options everywhere yesterday.
It was just incredible to see as so many options that there were yesterday. If you didn't see it, you can always watch it again on our Facebook or YouTube or Twitch channel. And you can see how this is lining up. Just to explain one more time for all you folks, the 40 top pilots that qualified for this virtual regatta or virtual gliding championship now are in a scoring system. That means for first place, you get 1,000 points. We have 6 races, as you can see them right here. April 16th was yesterday. Today, April 17th in Slovenia again. And then we have May 1st and April 30th, as well as May 14th and May 15th. And those 6 races give each pilot a chance to score. And based on that, the top 10 pilots, or is it 20? 20 pilots go to the final in Karlsruhe, Germany for November 10th and November 11th.
Exactly, Norman. It's going to be a great world final in Germany. Really looking forward to that. But first, we must continue with this Pro Championship with 40 pilots competing during 6 races, and the overall ranking will decide who will be able to join us in Germany in a few months from now. Today is a race in flatlands. Yesterday we were in the mountainous areas of Slovenia, and today we are racing on the east part of Slovenia in the flatlands. Only very few hills right there, and you will see that we will fly very close to Austria and overfly as well Croatia, close to Zagreb. Let's check the race of the day and the task that we have in front of us. So the start will take place from Murska Sobota. Maximum altitude is 1,500 meters with a ground speed max of 470 kph. Then we will go to turn point 1 to the west. It's going to be 84.5 kilometers to go to Slovenj Gradec. You will see that there are some small hills south of the track on the second part of the leg going to Slovenj Gradec. We will cross the city of Maribor as well, very well known in the gliding community. So just after Maribor city, you will see some small hills, but that's the only ones for today, and then back in the flatland. Then we will go from turn point 1 to turn point 2. Podsreda. Podsreda is really close to the border with Croatia. It's going to be 66.5 kilometers to fly to Podsreda. And we will fly mid-leg through the city of Celje in Slovenia. Then we will go to turn point 3, which is the reporting point, and we will cross the city of Ptuj or Ptuje. I don't know how to pronounce it. Before a 7 kilometers leg to the finish line today. So 235 kilometers, no wing loading limits, and 15-meter class for the pilots here. The minimum safe altitude for the arrival, let me check, is 220 meters. So that's a little bit higher than 30 meters above ground level. You will see.
Now we're playing the weather today, and the weather is coming from 68 degrees, basically due west, and it's coming quite strong. It's coming with 24 kilometers per hour. So they're going to have a really strong headwind on the first leg.
Yeah.
Then they're going to turn on turn point 2, and they're going to have some these. So a bit of cross and tailwind, so a little bit of both. So it's going to speed up their speed. And on the way after turn point 3, they're going to after turn point 2, 3, they're going to have as well as a bit of tailwind and crosswind again. So, but leg 2 and 3 are going to be tailwind with crosswind. So you have to pay attention to stay on the middle line rather than being dragged away from the turning point. And then a little tip right there on top of turn point 3, you have still 7 kilometers to the finish line. So it's kind of like a run out leg that they have to follow. And I think it's going to be a strong thermal day, looking at the thermal forecast. So we'll see how it's going to play out. They might use a little bit of that ridge on that hill, but it might be actually too far away to use it. So there's a little bit of strategy coming into place there. We'll find out which way to go once we have those guys and boys and girls in the air and having their fun day on the virtual world. Why do I look so small here? I feel like I'm like a little kid behind a bar.
I know you need to.
Can somebody please make me bigger?
Yeah, not too bad like this.
And I can come closer, but that's not the goal here. Can somebody please adjust me on that screen and make me kind of like not look like my chin is hitting the bar, huh? That'd be nice. So the guys in the back, if it's Sebastiano, JD, could you please adjust me in the window a little bit? That'd be great. I look like a kid. Oh yeah, here we go.
No,
so thank you for the difficulties here. Oh, it's really messing with me.
We are dealing with Condor. Condor will come in a few seconds or minutes. I think we can expect the race to start in about 2 minutes from now. Maybe we can have just the 2D view in the background with a zoom on the. Great. We are back on Condor, so I expect the start in about 1 minute from now. Do we have the view on the start line already, Jean-David? Because I see that we have nice weather today, nice cumulus clouds. Thank you very much. And you have the way straight to Slovensk Radek, turn point 1. So the pilots are really close to the line, and they are getting ready to start.
I don't see any information on the weather, what the cloud base will be. It looks like probably somewhere around 3,000 feet, maybe 3.5. I don't know.
Yeah, it's roughly, I believe, 1,700 meters QNH, but we will have to confirm this. But I think it's around 1,700 meters with the max start altitude at 1,500 meters. So there is only a small margin between the maximum start altitude and the ceiling today.
So there's just something for you guys to know, that if you do fly into the clouds, there's a penalty for that, I would think, right? Usually there's a cloud base And if you fly into the cloud, there is penalty points
Yeah.
that will deduct from your overall score. So always watch out for those guys. And it might be nice to fly high, but then you're scoring minus points.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Norman. They must be careful with it. I think the start is a little bit delayed because probably some people were still joining the race, so the start has been delayed because they were in the session in the game, but not yet in the air. So they had to wait, I believe. And I see the race in 20 seconds on the top left. So they must rush to come back. 15 seconds from now.
And again, it's a GP race, so
10
everybody
seconds.
starts at the same
Yeah,
time.
regatta start. It's gonna start in a few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the race is on. You can see it on your screen right now with Frank Schwetzweger taking the start, and a lot of pilots are really late. They are super late. I see Ronnie Lindale, 8 kilo, Sierra X-Ray Sierra very late, Lima Sierra, Lindor.
They're still flying towards the start line rather than
Yeah,
flying through the
yeah.
start line. Really big mistake on their mistake. I hope that isn't has nothing to do with the start delay.
Yeah,
But what a
hopefully
tough start.
they are much higher than 1,400 meters, the max start altitude probably, and then they must come back and turn back again. But I assume there is a very nice cloud to start with JJJ, BF, Patrick Médard there on the right. I think that's a nice street, cloud street, and you will see that the wind is coming from the east, so it's pushing them towards start point one. So I expect this first leg to be very quick. And as they are very close to the ceiling already, I don't expect them to thermal straight away. They should wait a little bit. I see Sierra 19 already taking one and so on. Maybe it's a very, very good one just next to the start line, but I think it's not really worth it to stop right now. They must continue, just like Ben Fest and Jeroen Jenen, to fly, and go down a little bit and enjoy the small thermals and so on. The dolphin flight first. So we have Philippe Plata PLT leading with 220 kilometers per hour. Very good start from Philippe from the French team.
But he's very
Uh,
low.
yeah, obviously, but he's just flying the dolphin, and he started at the right time. I think. Look at that nice cloud streets going straight to Slovenia Gradec. It's great. If he gets a good thermal there, then he's leading the race, and that's it. It's a very good start from Philippe.
Well, we saw from yesterday that we can see that being fast in the beginning wasn't the answer to the winning. It was about getting the right height. Some people had a slow start, but they gained so much height, and all of a sudden they came from behind and smoked everyone. We'll see how the tactics play out today. We do have some cloud streets that we can see, which is really, really nice. And for people who have never flown before, cloud streets are energy lines that allow a pilot to fly under the clouds, with a nice speed and hardly having reduced sink, or sometimes even better, they're actually gaining height while they're flying straight. So cloud streets can have really beneficial results for flying fast and good if you find them right.
That's a very good view now, because we have the view of the leader, and we see as well what's going on behind the leader right now. We see that Arne Martin and Ben Fest, they stopped in the thermal. We see Bravo Yankee 3 behind. We see JJJ, and sometimes we can just do a 360 to see what's in front of Philippe, but we've seen that there is a very good Cumulus street right in front of him. That's a good thermal for Jeroen Jenen. I see 2.8, maybe 3 meters per second. Stable right there. Marcin May, the leader, winner of yesterday's race, is there. You can see the reporting point here, the turn point 3 right there. But they will have 228 kilometers to fly before reaching this turn point.
Right.
So let's continue.
But and another information about the cloud street, the energy line, you have to be able to kind of like, as closer you are to the cloud base of the energy line, the chances of you catching it and holding it is larger and bigger rather than being 1,000 meters below it,
Yeah,
you probably will not find the energy line. You find a thermal. And I think that's what we just saw with Ben Fest and all the other guys. Go up to the cloud base, find the energy line, and follow it all the way to turn point one.
yeah, exactly, Norman. It's much easier, and I think on Condor 3 you will see there are a lot of new things in weather, and the weather with cloud streets, it's absolutely amazing. You will be able to do long final glide from 1,500 meters like this. I'm really looking forward to this. Obviously, it's the one of the best improvements that we will have for sure in the next game. It looks really good. I think there are a lot of things that you will discover, and we are all looking forward to that. Still with Jeroen, and I see Arne Martin behind. I see Alpha 33, Arthur Duke, Marcin May. So the Polish pilots there. Norbert Kiss is right there. Hubert Hotel Lima Echo is there. KMI as well. 269 Donna Pierluigi is behind. I want to see if Philippe Lata stopped. I think yes. I think he stopped in the thermal in front. Not yet. So he keeps pushing and he's looking for the right thermal to take the best start.
He is down to 765 meters. That is not much height, so he really has to find a good thermal pretty soon.
Yeah.
And there is usually I would say a range, right? If you're low, it's going to be a weak thermal in the beginning, and then at a certain height, the thermals become stronger, at least in the real world. So there's kind of like a bandwidth where you like to fly, preferably, between cloud base and let's say minus 1,000 meters. That's a good bandwidth. Everything below it, the thermals become weaker, and you prefer to stay in that bandwidth between, let's say, 2,000 to 3,000 meters, or in this case, 2,500 to 1,500 meters.
So Ben Fest very well placed in the top 4 here, and he has Philippe Lata in front of him, way below. Bravo Yankee Tree is below as well. I'll check who's. I think it's Jan Benezovsky from Argentina. Bravo Yankee Tree. I'm gonna check right now. You can start to send your some comments on the chat if you have questions, guys. It was Jan indeed.
Nico is asking on Twitch, is there any wing loads or limit on the wing loads? And the answer is no. There are no weight limits set for the wings, so you can have fully loaded with water and off you go. And,
exactly.
With those clouds looking pretty darn good, I'll be loading up all the way for sure.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why they are almost all flying with the GS3, because the GS3 with unlimited wing loading is for sure the best in 15-meter class nowadays.
Oh, look at him going up. He found something. He's just doing the little dolphin flight, just grabbing it. As you can see that wave, that purple wave going up and then down again. So he probably slowed down a little bit, grab that extra meter too, or 20, 50, 100 meters, and continues flying. Where PLT with his high speed, he needs to start finding something. But let's stay focused here, right there with the guys. Benfest. We have interesting. We have Ian Benasovsky.
Yeah, from Argentina.
Argentina, really? Right.
Yeah.
I love this, that we're sitting all around the world and soaring together.
Yeah.
It's such an incredible thing. Wow.
Yeah, and he did. He qualified by making a top 3 in the qualifiers. A really strong performance from him. I really remember it. It was really cool. We had quite some Argentinians pilot joining the qualifiers. I see Chris Skin in Charlie Kilo just behind the Australian pilot. It's like 6 in the morning in Australia for the pilots flying there. That's why we are starting at 19 UTC and not earlier, because otherwise it will fly at 4 in the morning. That's not really convenient.
I think it's a good solution right there. Right before breakfast, do a couple hour flights, win a race. That sounds about right.
Yeah, and we have François Seifert in Sierra Oscar India behind him. I see Tim Matson, who took another way, far behind.
And François Seifert, who came in 6th yesterday.
Yeah.
Very good pilot, and here he is again in the top 10, and holding a good speed as well as altitude. Let's see how this goes. If you look in the distance, you see Victor Romeo Victor. It's gone now, but he was really, really high. And there's Tim Madsen again, trying to get something. He's 1,400 meters tall, high, and he has taken a completely different route. With that cross headwind, he's thinking it's gonna, with the thermal, get pushed to the right towards the line. Let's see how that plays out for Tim.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim Madsen taking another option. As usual, he's the kind of pilot who's making really his own decisions, but he's flying every day on Condor. He's live streaming his flights as well. He has a lot of experience, Tim, and he can really do crazy flights. And we've seen that during the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix World Final a couple of months ago. He has done a crazy race there where he led it by like 20 minutes. It was a crazy race, and for sure one of the best pilots, Tim Madsen, in the world.
That's, and we see him right here in this cockpit view. That's his right now. He's averaging 2 meters per second at a 45-degree angle, going to the left, maxing out to that thermal, probably going to about 1,800 meters, and then he's going to head towards turn point 1 for sure. And he's the only one who flew from the start, all the way from the left, all the way from the southeast side. So that's why he is where he's at. And we'll find out. This is still early in the race. We're talking about an hour and a half to an hour 45 for this race, and we're only 10 minutes into it. And we'll see how this is playing out with everybody's strategies. As you can see in the distance from this view, we have about 4 or 5 gaggles, and they're all doing their thing. And there it is on the 2D view. In the lead, we have X-Ray Alpha leading the pack right now. And you see Tim Madsen all the way onto the right. You see that right above my head. Yep. There he is at. He's behind into the east, so he's really far behind. I don't know if his strategy will play out. We'll find out.
And so we have Tim who took another option, and I think for the other pilots it was quite obvious to take another route that was on the north side of the track initially, and then it's drifting to the south, as you can see right now. And Tim, he will have to turn right. We are following the blue track just above the pilots here, north of Maribor. You see Maribor City? Yeah, right there. So the wind is really pushing in that direction. They are following the Cloud Street with the wind pushing like this. So they will need to go to the right a little bit to get back on track at some point.
I think what we'll see here is they're going to follow the Cloud Street. That's why they're south of the line.
Yeah.
And they're getting pushed that way as well. But then at one point or another, they will jump over to the next Cloud Street, which is closer to the blue line, to the track. And we'll see how this is going to play out. For Tim starting off that far south, that's a little odd.
Can you zoom out a little bit again? Sorry. I see some hills after Maribor. We talked about it during the briefing. And I think maybe they are following that Cloud Street, and it leads actually to this big ridge that is at 1,346 meters height, the highest point of that ridge here. So maybe they will be able to stay just above the ridge and get good cumuluses above that ridge before going to Slovenj Gradec, the turn point 1. We will see, but that may be why they are still following this Cloud Street and they did not switch to another one, more on the track.
And if you have any comments about this on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, wherever you're watching us right now, ask the questions ahead. And Nico says, if in Perth, that's 4 a.m. In Canberra, on the opposite side, Australia, it's 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So
exactly, it's like 6 a.m. in Sydney or something like this, but not in Canberra for sure.
So, well, he's flying, so he's up. So whatever time it is, he's flying well.
Yeah, well done to him.
And JDX is saying, great job by the background, yeah.
Rest in peace, sleep schedule, he said, Nico. Man, that's true. And you know, some European pilots asked, someone asked on the Discord, oh, can you advance the timing by 1 hour so that we can fly earlier because it's difficult for me. I need to work early in the morning and so on. And I was like, yeah, sorry, but the Australians, they are already waking up at 4 or maybe 3 to be able to fly. So we cannot, we need to find the right position. And yeah, before stating that we wanted to have the race at that time. So starting actually at 1940 UTC time, we had meetings and we discussed what would be the best time for everyone in the US, in Australia, in Europe, and so on. We need to take into consideration everyone's schedule, so that the, most of the pilot can fly very late or very early in the morning. But we try to find solutions with everyone's job as well, which is never easy. Let's get back to the race. We have Chris Keane, the Australian pilot, 170 kph, leading right now. JJJ and Benfest are behind. Sierra X-Ray Sierra. I think PLT stopped now. 161.5, yeah, and dropping. So I think they stopped in the thermal right in front of them. A very good cumulus cloud. It looks quite good. Looking
Yeah,
forward
and
to see what they have.
right at the ridge as you talked about it. So if you find that ridge with that cloud under it, you might get one of those boomers, and off you go. And or you're high enough just to take that ridge. Again, with 24 kph, kilometers per hour. There's a lot of there could be some really strong uplift for you. We'll find out.
Yeah.
It might not be the right angle, but we'll find out. We'll see in a moment.
And Josh Meyers is back here, Fox One, in the among the top
Ooh.
pilots.
Ian turned too late. That was a really strong thermal.
Yeah.
You saw the guys below thermaling, and he's like, oh no, and he waited too long. So now he has to center it a little bit. That was a bit of a late turn for him.
Well, he's well placed, Ian Benezowski here,
Yeah.
the pilot from Argentina, very well placed because much higher than the other pilots here. And at least there is something, but I don't know if it's a very good one.
It's a good
JJJ
one.
is
6 to 7, well, 5 to 6, 7 meters per second. He hasn't centered it yet, but on the right spot.
It's not. And remember, it's not compensated, so it's the real actual value, but not the one that you should see in the cockpit, not the one that was stable like in Tim Matsen's cockpit a few minutes ago.
Okay.
So we try to guess approximately what's the average speed, but climb rate. I mean, but it's not easy to do.
This is a good view, though. You can see for Jerome that Bravo Yankee 3 as well as X-Ray Alpha are basically at the same height and the same distance and the same speed.
Yeah.
And they're right now per se in the lead by being up front and high. So those are the leaders as we determine while looking at this. This is great. And Bravo Yankee definitely has found and centered his thermal right now. He's going up sweet. Jerome says, I might join him in a moment just to get a couple 100 feet extra.
And you can see that there are two different thermals here.
Yeah.
One for Jan and one for Joshua in X Alpha.
Definitely. This is going to be a big gaggle because everybody sees how well it is.
Yeah.
Down below, you see DC1 and all those boys trying to find, hey guys, it's going to the left, not to the right. So follow the thermal, follow the turn.
Yeah, it's not easy to get into this thermal. They must be careful. It must be safe to do that.
Right. So here's for you guys: if there is a mid-air collision that can happen in this game, in this simulation, if it does happen, you do not crash. You continue flying, I believe. And is there a penalty point for that?
Yeah, well, it's 0 for the day, and we want to introduce a penalty, but we did not decide what's the penalty yet for that. It's not in the tables, because it's the first time we want to do that. So we still need to talk about it. But as we already started the Pro Championship, if there is any change, in the penalty system or whatever, then we need to find an agreement with all the pilots and create a poll and so on for that, because it's something we've never done before, and we've never used the option on Condor Club, the scoring system as well. So we must figure out. But for sure, it's 0 point on the day, and then we need to find out if we want to subtract some points on the overall ranking as well when you crash. But that's for sure something that will happen in the future. We will see if we do it for this event or not. But we would like to do so, but we need to decide how many points of penalty you must have if you crash.
Right. But I'm talking about mid-air collision, not crashing.
Oh no, yeah, midair. I think they all have the option to get back in the game, but they get penalties for that. Yeah.
All right.
There is a standard penalty already applied in Condor.club for that.
Right. And
We created that.
Imrama asking, hello, any news about Condor 3? It's coming. Be patient. We've been saying that for a year. It's coming this year.
It's coming.
And we're planning on having it for the World Championship in Karlsruhe in November. And so be patient. And yes, it is coming. And yes, it will be fantastic. Yes, it will have great improvements, especially for the weather scheme. And so, yes to all. Be patient.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's no secret anymore, because it's gonna come soon. But you may know or not that we initially planned to have the entire event, the qualifiers Pro Championship on Condor 3, and we were supposed to fly in Slovenia 3 for the entire contest, but it was delayed, so we had to reschedule kind of all of the races, and we still hope to have the Pro Championship running on Condor 3. It's very close, but it's not ready yet. There is so much work. Well, there was so much work done already for Condor, and so many betas released for the beta testers of the game, and it's still work in progress, but things are looking good. So hopefully in the coming weeks or months we will have the release of Condor 3, and I'm almost certain that we'll have the world final of this event on Condor 3. I think they announced it more than 6 months ago that it would be released within 6 months. So yeah, we should expect it. I think really soon. Let's hope for that.
So here we can see Sandra Terpstra, who's leading right now with the average speed of 152.7 kilometers per hour. And he has chosen to not go as high in the thermal like everyone else on the big gaggle. And he's flying right now with a reduced sink. You can see it. Sometimes he actually is going up. And so he has chosen to be fast and with the ridge. And it seems to be working. He's found a bit of a good lift right there. And he's flying with 200 kph. So that's really fast. And this might be a good choice to fly close to the ridge right now, take that little mountain until it's over, maybe find a thermal at the end or towards the end. And this is a good strategy right now, because he realized where he was in his position, he wasn't able to out-thermal anybody, but this might be a strategy that works into his favor. Let's find out. And he's being closely followed by Foxtrot 1, and again, David Chapman, DC1, by the average speed. You can see them in the background right there. And they have chosen a similar tactic by flying close to the ridge. You can see right here is perfectly with Foxtrot 1. There's Josh Meyer. Reduce sync, as I said, when it's right. And EC1 found something. He's like, I'm taking this. He's taking it hard. He's slowing down, doing a bit of a dolphin move, and continues on. So everybody has their own techniques. And we can see in the distance from this view again how Bravo Yankee 3, as well as Jerome and X-Ray Alpha, have chosen to fly high, and now they're just cruising along. And very strong performance right there between the three of them, being so high. Because they're about 700 meters higher as you can see right here, Joshua Arntz. He's 700 meters higher than Davis, and yeah, good choices. And they also have reduced sink, I would think. Yeah, it sure looks like it. And they're closer to the clouds, which, in my opinion, is always good to be high and fast, and safer. You don't outland in real life. It's good to be high. It's good to be fast. If you're playing the risky game, you might pay off, but you also might pay off of being in the field and getting the retrieval crew. Here we don't have the retrieval crew. We have a reset button, say do it again next time. But with these world champion contenders, which are all proven to be very strong pilots on this simulator, outlanding does happen, but not in weather conditions like this.
Yeah. So we are 26 kilometers away approximately from the turn point 1. We are more than halfway through the first leg of this race, going to Slovenj Gradec in Slovenia, and we are just above some hills right here, helping them, and then we'll turn back to the south to turn point 2, very close to the border of Croatia, and it will be all flatlands again for the pilots today. The wind is pushing behind them, so they're flying quite fast. You can see the ground speed, 208 kilometers per hour on the bottom left of your screen, with the distance flown, 61.4 kilometers for Ian Benezovsky from Argentina, doing a really good flight today. We can say that he's the leader of the race so far because he has much more energy than the ones in front of him right now. Flying at 1,650 meters, you have all the average speed on the left. With the top 20, there are 40 pilots competing in this Pro Championship. Well done, Ian, so far for this flight.
Yeah.
The main gaggle here.
Yeah, you can see the main gaggle again, but the view that we had before, you can see actually the grounds are getting higher, meaning the mountains are coming up. So you still think you're 1,700 meters high, but the ground is maybe only 1,000 meters away from you because the whole area, the whole topography, geographically is all coming up. And so for the guys who are higher, they're safer. They have better conditions for sure. And here's a question JDX asked. There is 2 compensation antennas on the JS3 on the horizontal tail. You mean the pitot tubes? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see them,
yeah.
They're there.
Exactly.
You can see them on the left, on the right here on the positioning of them is they don't interfere with any kind of drag of flow of air.
Yeah.
That's why they position them on the left and the right side of the horizontal.
Yeah, and one is for the airspeed, and the other one is for the variometer. Those compensate variometer. So that's the pitot and the 2 different pitot tubes.
Okay. Again, if you guys have any questions, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you are, bring it on.
Exactly.
See if you can answer
it. And yeah, we do prefer if you join us on Twitch to interact there. Much easier for us to follow, and the live is much better on Twitch as well, the better quality and so on. So if you are following us on Facebook, for example, please join us on Twitch on FAI Virtual Gliding, so that we can check what's going on and all the.
And if you don't have an account with Twitch, you have to create one, the whole blah blah, as you always do. Of course, if you have already a YouTube account or a Facebook account, you'll be able to watch it. But the delay actually is much more on those 2 channels, where Twitch is the most realistic time on this race.
Yeah,
it's the shortest delay that we can offer to you as of right now. And we can see again 2 different strategies right here, with Jerome flying more on the ridge top on the mountain, more into the mountains, where Bravo Yankee 3 over there to the right is flying way, it's a straighter line and a direct line to the turn point 1.
Yeah, so the wind is pushing from behind, but there is still some energy blowing to the mountains, and it helps a little bit to stay afloat, to stay in the air here. So that's why Jeroen, who is a pilot in real life as well for the Belgian gliding team, that's why he's doing that. He knows that flying just above the mountains here, even with unfavorable wind conditions, can still help you to get some more extra energy for
But they're completely
flying
headwind
through
right now.
the
Complete
tunnels.
headwind. There's no tailwind right now. This is all
No,
headwind.
no, no, no. It's coming from the east. Huh?
Oh,
So
jeez, I completely went the opposite way. They
yeah,
have
yeah, no,
tail.
no.
Oh, dude.
It's
Oh, sorry.
from the back, from the back.
I completely turned around the picture in my head. I was thinking turn point one on leg one. It's all headwind.
No, no,
Completely
no,
the
no.
opposite. It's all tailwind, guys. And then going back up is cross in front and headwind. Okay,
Exactly.
okay, okay.
No worries.
There's
So
a good view. You can see the positioning right now. Man, Bravo Yankee is definitely up front, really strong. His height is low. He's 1,600 meters, but it's not that low, as a matter of fact. Jerome is at, where is Jerome? At 1,780. So 100 meters. That's not much. That's 300 feet. That's not much difference. And great performance right now, as we can see it on this view. Tim Madsen has caught up a little bit. He's still high. He's still the highest, and he has caught up, which is a good indicator that he was. Well, he's actually in the tail end, but he still has 200 meters above most. So let's see if he can catch up a bit more. But the top 4 or 5 flyers right there, you can see them on your left side of your screen. They are the ones that are leading this race right now and will be the ones who crossing the first turn point. And
thank
Tim
you for
Madsen
the
is just
video.
tailing. Tim Madsen definitely trailing right now. Good
Yeah,
height.
Yeah,
But
team is always flying high, and I think that's its aim for the day. Is like, okay, maybe they will go down at some point, and I will always stay high. And if they go too low, I'll be able to pass just above them, and I will win the race. He's done that already several times, and that's kind of his mood to do that at every single race.
nice. That's good to know. You know, over the years following these pilots, you see their strategies, as you call it, their modes, or their that's how they like to fly, and that's where they feel comfortable.
Yeah,
And this is how you can win races, and also sometimes you're not. You may a little bit more risk sometimes may pay off, but can also be very expensive. And we're here right now. We're seeing Ian Beneskovsky, the Argentinian, coming to turn point one in a very nice manner, still having 1,500 meters on his vario, on its altimeter, and flying a good speed of 154.4 overall. And if he finds another thermal before the turn point, I will take it since you have tailwind, but I don't think he will. The clouds are gone. He's just going to zoom through and make a left turn. There's nothing there, just blue sky. And as soon as you turn, you're going to have headwind, meaning every thermal that you're taking from this point on is going against you, because the wind is going to push you away from your goal. You know, and every turn you make, 50% of that is against you, meaning you're flying away from where you want to go.
and Jan Benezovsky from Argentina is the first one to cross the turn point 3 today on race 2 of the Pro Championship. Congratulations, Jan. Very good flying so far. Just over the town of Slovensk Gradec in Slovenia. Sander Terpstra, second, 156 kilometers per hour, but much lower, just below 1,000 meters. He will need to climb in a few minutes. Behind them is Jeroen Jennen from Belgium, joining the turn point at 1,600 meters right now. So that's a very good position for Jeroen at the moment, who went just above the small hills before Slovensk Radek. So good option for Jeroen.
Yeah, we're seeing SCX, Sierra X-ray Sierra,
Yeah.
flying actually straight on. He's not turning to the left, which I find odd. He's flying past the point. Is there a cloud that
Yeah,
he's seeing
yeah,
possibly? But
yeah, probably. Well, the wind is pushing from the east. Okay, so now they're turning southwards, but there are some hills they are in a valley. They need to follow the valley, and there are hills on the left and right of the valley on both sides. And he wants to go to the to the hills just above your head, Norman,
Mm,
sorry, because he wants to have the wind pushing against those hills, and
yeah.
yeah,
Hopefully
so
finding
that
a good thermal right there.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly, because he was too low, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna get some downdraft from those hills that are
Right.
upwind right
And
here.
if you look at the overall turn point two position, flying a little bit further west as he is, you're basically still flying into the right direction.
Yeah,
Um, you just have a different angle to turn point two then. Okay, copy that. That makes sense because there's a nice little thermal cumulus clouds on the east side there, on the west side of that turn point. But everyone else is flying straight, and you can see again our leader right now over there to the left side. He's flying through that valley, hoping that he finds
mm.
a good thermal over there, where everyone else is following the mass of all. And let's see if one finds that good lift, that good uplift that they need, considering they're at 1,500 meters. It would be good to catch up a couple of 100 feet right now, a couple of 100 meters.
Yeah, exactly, and we will see what are the options taken by the pilots right now. Jeroen is flying quite well, and Ben Fest is following him. Ryan Wood, the Canadian pilot, is well placed. I see David Redman on fifth place behind. So the pack is still together here. I believe everyone can still win this race. We just turned Slovenj Gradec turn point one, and we're going to turn point two, Podsreda, very close to the border with Croatia for a leg of 66.5 kilometers, 66.5 kilometers.
So from this view, I could see the strategy of Bravo Yankee 3. He's
Yeah,
turning more to the left because there is still a ridge on that valley that you were talking about.
yeah,
And he's going to take that valley because the wind's coming from the east. So it's going to hit that valley possibly to his favor. So he's might flying constantly on that valley ridge
yeah,
to continue. And then once he passed that 2, 3 little mountains, he's then going to turn south to go to turn point one, where everyone else is flying basically through the rough terrain and with less chances of getting that ridge lift. So interesting strategy. Let's see if it plays out. He is still the leader, and he's flying his own race. He's definitely flying his own race. Um, if it's going to play out for him, I mean, why not? Might as well. I mean, you're leading right now. Give it a chance. And if nobody's following you, you might hit the jackpot. Or not. Could go the other way as well. But it can go both ways. But that's a very risky and I think it's a strong attitude. You can see.
yeah.
Very well done. Very good. And good luck to Bravo Yankee.
Yeah, it's not easy to take those decisions and to try to take another option that you're the only one to take. It's a lot of risk, and that's the kind of risk that you like to take at the end of the race. But right now, I wouldn't take too much risk, and I think I would still stay with the leading pack and try to fly as fast as I can, so that maybe a group of five pilots can detach and lead the strong gaggle and try to get extra points for the day. But I think it's not uh, one shot races anymore, and you must really understand that we need the overall ranking. We need to get a lot of points every day to be able to be on top of this overall ranking, and staying with the strong pilots that do score a lot of points every time is key to be able to perform at the end of the week.
Well, but then again, he was leading at turn point one. So, as you know, when you fly, you can't look back really when you're flying for real. So he chose that path thinking everybody else may take it as well, but it turns out it's not. And again, we'll find out if this is playing out for him.
Yeah.
And Jerome is doing what he's supposed to do. He's in ninth place overall by speed, but he's pretty high right now. And he's taking that thermal strongly and continuing to turn point two after he's reaching the top of that one. Closely followed by Ben Fest and the crew, HG1. They're all right there. this whole gaggle is like 5th to 10th or 12th place. You can see him right there. And 09, that's the German Schwertfeger Frank, very bendfest. The Germans always like to fly together. I noticed that. I'm pretty sure they might be doing it some team radio, even though
Yeah,
you're not supposed to do that.
probably just like the Polish guys and the Hungarian pilots and so on. I know they are all using TeamSpeak, but it's way too difficult for us as organizer to control who's doing what on their computers. It's very
Right.
difficult to do.
And here we can see the strategy of Ian, as I mentioned it earlier. And he's on its own. He considered taking that thermal. He's like, nah, did not. And now he is. I don't know. Well, we'll find out how this. Again, he's playing his own race right now, and he is on its own. He started so strong, and I hope it will play out for him. But it could easily go the opposite way. That was a nice ridge, the way that mountain looks. But it did not get what he really, really wanted, I guess. And he's down to 1,200 meters, so he's about 500 meters below everyone else. And you can see in the distance, you see Alpha 33. He's on top of the mountain, and he's getting the ridge lift that he's been looking for, I believe. Maybe you can see it right there, 4.4. He's flying on the ridge. He's getting exactly what he wanted. And I think this is what Ian was trying to do. And he was maybe slightly too low and not on top of the ridge, because you can see he's going steadily up, or limited sink. Very well done by Artur Tutzik, Alpha 33. Good pilot, always on top, always in the top ranking. Great competitor and good competitor for the world champion for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Among the best pilots, and yeah, Arthur Ziuk, he competed to the second FAI Virtual Sailplane Grand Prix World Final a year ago. So he's a very good pilot, Arthur, from Poland as well.
And just for your people, if you're just starting to play Condor, or practicing on Condor, I just learned over the years, having played the simulator, it's helped me to get more comfortable in the glider in the real world. So there's definitely some really good aspects to this virtual gliding in respect to real flying, as well as like Formula One does it. I mean, like all those top competitors, they are racing Formula One on a virtual machine. To keep practicing and keep practicing. And this is exactly what Condor has created and is continuously producing to upgrade, to make it even more realistic and even better to teach and educate pilots, that you get so many more hours. You can do so many mess ups and you just hit repeat button, and it helps you to be a better pilot in the real world. At least that's what I have learned and discovered for myself. And when I started to fly again 2 years ago, here I am flying long distance flights, and my club members and friends are saying, Norman, man, you've been flying like crazy. How do you do it? It's like, I think Condor helped me at least get over some of the fear and overcome, like, hey, I've done this on the simulator. I think I can do it in real life. And it turns out to be true. So I'm very grateful for this educational tool. And Condor, as well as the SSA, which is the Soaring Society of America, have come up with a program to help educating American young and older students, pilots, and people who want to learn. And they're really pushing this right now to get this program to schools and clubs, so they can have a simulator at the clubhouse for practicing, especially on off days or in off seasons. Here in Florida, we don't have off seasons. We can fly year round, but many other clubs all around the world have off seasons. They can't fly, and they hop on a simulator like this and practicing. And you see Tim Mutson again right here. Nice 3 meter average, strong, staying high as he's playing that. And,
that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a very strong thermal. Very nice. Oh, Kim is above him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, KMI. Impressive. So there are some good thermals today, but remember, they are all fully loaded. They probably are full wing loading now, and they don't want to release water because they want to fly very fast. So probably without any water, it would be like at least 4 meters per second. This one. That's why the the average climb speed is lower because they are just fully loaded at 60 kilos per meter square, probably.
See, if I show up with my little label right now, I'll be out climbing
Oh
them.
yeah, oh man, you would be climbing like hell. Yeah.
The little balloon, as they call it, right? Little balloon. But again, with a crosswind of 24, I'd be like, okay, some of these thermals probably gonna push me off and over, and like, so,
So that's interesting because we can see some pilots on the hills options following some hills, and Jeroen is going straight with Benfest, I think, behind. They are going straight to turn point two, Pots radar right there. Let's have a look at the 2D view. Thank you very much.
super.
Now, big options, two different groups. Will they get the advantage on the other group, or will they merge together in a few kilometers from now? We will see.
I think what you can see on the top, the northern group leading by Anton 33,
Yeah,
they're going to turn right, probably by the interstate right there.
yeah,
When the mountains ends, they're going to turn right and fly almost due south to turn point two. Whereas the rest of the guys flying directly to turn point two without deviating from the blue line, which is the most direct line to turn point two. Um, and since the northern group flew further east, they're going to have a bit of a benefit,
yeah.
more crosswind rather than headwind. And so we'll see how this plays out. I think all over, this is a very good option. I think it's a good try to take that ridge and get some extra lift. And Anton 33 has done it and proven himself to be leading from this perspective
Yeah.
very fast. And you can see right now they're going due south over the ridge, done. Very cool.
Do you
Whoa.
think does it looks like sailing, Norman? This option to do that. You explained it like a sailor.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, sometimes you have to play with the wind, especially in the ocean, which is, it's two-dimensional rather than three-dimensional in a glider. But sometimes you follow where the wind is, and it will play out. And then all of a sudden, when you tack or jive towards the turn point, now you have even benefits because now you have the crosswind, and you have full on. You no longer fly and sail against the wind and the waves. Now you go on broadside and you're really fast. So you slow down on the first step, but then for the last 4, 5, or 100 or 50 kilometers, you go super fast because now you're going the way the boat goes the fastest, and you catch up again. So there's both strategies, and we're seeing them right here. So it gives it a really good perspective of what's possible.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be very boring. If everybody does the same thing, you can never win. Not really.
Yeah.
Because if somebody thermals as fast as you are because they're flying the same glider, yeah, there's little nuances. But you can hardly catch up by just trying to thermal better.
Yeah.
But if you fly a different direction with different winds, all of a sudden the chances, everything changes. The whole world changes because the thermals are different, the clouds are different, the angle of the wind is different, and that what makes this competition so nice. That's what makes flying so nice, and that's why people in real life or here go to competitions, because they want to see what they can do. They can learn from it and can prove themselves and say, "Oh, look, I've intuitively went the right way."
And yeah, I was looking at the cloud streets there, and for Arthur Duke in Alpha 33, there is a nice cloud street going to turn point two, but it's kind of the same for the guys for JJJ Mainfest here. They will need to join the same cloud street at some point. So I guess that they will merge and get back together just before reaching turn point two. So really looking forward to see the group getting back together. Maybe we can have a look at what's going on behind on the 10th place, 20th place as well, from top 10 to top 20. Okay, I see. Thank you. Joshua Arndt with Uwe Meltzer and Franz Schweigger. So the three German pilots are flying together. I see David Redman, Ronnie Lindell in 8 kilo. I see Richard Badam in Romeo Papa Bravo. And yeah,
We see
both
Sean
doing
Churchill
well.
back there as well. He looks like he's somewhere in the top 10 again, who
Yeah.
was yesterday's second overall. Very
Yeah.
strong competition, very strong
Yeah.
performance for
Yeah.
sure. Looking at 1,100 meters, okay, he better find a thermal pretty quick, but he is definitely by speed 146. He is 8 kilometers slower than the
Yeah.
top five, top four. That's interesting to see how
There is a gap.
strong the ones are.
Yeah, there is a gap with the top three indeed. Yeah.
Right. Those guys definitely
Yeah.
found something specific and they took it right, and it's paying off in the long run, it seems. And Sean actually went almost backwards because he saw this guy thermaling.
Yeah,
and it seems to be a strong thermal.
There
right
is a
here.
new cumulus cloud. If you look at it, I've seen it, and it's just creating, and it's a very powerful one. I think that's why he went back to try this one, and he realized I need to climb here because afterward it's not that good, and maybe Arthur Duke, Chris Keane, who are leading right now, are struggling, and I see. Yeah,
1,000 meters. Right.
Whiskey 22. I see Witold Rozak in Whiskey Romeo Whiskey as well. Where is he on the left? He's not on the left.
Oh, look at this beautiful lake right there. That's a beautiful scenery.
Let me check.
You know, it's nice to see. You know, in competition, sometimes you don't have the time to actually enjoy the beauty of the nature that is all around you. But here's a beautiful view of what Arthur is actually flying in and out of. Really beautiful, and he's keeping it safe. He's like, okay, it's time to tank up, time to fuel up. You know, and if you again, for all the newbies and the people who are learning in this weather, every cloud is basically a gas station, right? You go and fill up with gas, and this is hot air. The gas is going up, and that gives you the energy. So you're going up in the up using the thermal, the updraft, the warm air, the warm gas going, bringing you back up. That gives you more energy, and that energy is then turned into distance and speed. And so you see a lot of gas stations all around, which are cloud-based or cumulus clouds, as we call them. And just so you know how this really works, how do these gliders stay up as long and as fast as they are? That's just how.
Jan Benezowski is right there, the Argentinian pilot. Oh, that's good. We have good options. We have JJJ, Benfest, Hotel Golf One, Ryan Wood. So 2 different leading group with Benfest, Jeroen and Ryan Wood, and the other one is Jan Benezowski with Witold Rozak and Chris Keane right there, and Arthur Duke, obviously. Benfest, Frank Schwetzfeger, Ronnie Lindell following behind. So they are very close to each other. I see Arne Martin Guttler as well.
See, now we see what happens, right?
Yeah.
The left group with Benfest and JJJ and all of them, they follow directly to the mark. And guess what? Now they're thermaled, and they got pushed quite a bit off to the west from the easterly winds. Whereas the other guys who came from the ridge flying, now flying directly to the blue line. Now they're closer even. So they already made the distance that they needed to get there. And each thermal they take still pushes them towards the goal, towards the southwest where they have to go. So it was a good option, from my opinion, to go the ridge way through the valley rather than straight on the blue line, especially with that strong crosswind that they have. Because they have to fly, the guys on the left side of the blue line, they have to fly against the wind to get there more and more, where the other guys who are on the line already overcame that. So good choices. Good to see how this works.
Yeah, it's not easy to fly towards that turn point, and it's not gonna be easy as well to go to the reporting point, because it's gonna be a cross wind again, even more tailwind than this one. and this leg. So it's not going to be easy at all for the
Hey,
pilots.
you guys on Twitch, what's up? No questions? Are we so good explaining everything or what?
Let me check how many kilometers left. So we are more than halfway through the second leg from turn point 1 to turn point 2. We passed the city of Celje, going to Podsreda. So we are probably 25 to 30 kilometers away from the turn point 2. So we are approaching, but it's kind of a difficult moment now for the pilots. We can see that the weather is not easy in that area. A lot of bad thermals falling down and so on. So it's not easy. And some pilots are taking risk. It might pay off, but they may end up outlanding. So it's a bit risky right now. That's what I feel from what I see right now.
Well, Ian is probably trying to catch that cloud right there by the ridge and hoping it will be a good one with a bit of wind pushing onto the ridge. But again, he's getting low and he has to get over that ridge. So he definitely has to find something. And I think that cloud right there to the left, that puffy little one with a little dark spot under it, that looks like the right cloud to take. Because the other one is too far over on the ridge, he won't be able to get to it. And let's see if this one will give him what he's looking for and needing for being at 822 meters right now. That's low, folks. That's low. You know. Yeah, that's his cloud. He's hoping it's not falling apart.
Yeah, I hope for him. I really hope for him because he made the show so far. And he's in a really strong position here. If he gets something good, he's in a very good position.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And good for him if he wins and gets onto the podium
Yeah.
position and maybe in the high scoring for the next 4 or 5 races. Maybe he'd be flying to Karlsruhe, Germany, all the way from Argentina, to be able to compete with all of you folks. And fantastic. That'd be great. Oh, Frank Schwertfeger, the German right there. He thought he had something, and he's like, nope, didn't happen. So now he's flying lots of sync, trying to speed up again. That hurts a bit. But let's find out. To the next cloud. Sometimes you think you have something well, and then you turn, and then it turns out to be a banana. Yeah, you only got a little bit. It didn't work out, and you I better turn right and get out of there. And those tries sometimes can be very costly because then you probably fly right into sync. You slow down, and then you're flying through sync. Now you have to speed up, so you're even wasting more energy. So sometimes you have to be very due diligent as to when to turn and when not to. And especially in the real world, because all of a sudden 200-300 meters are gone and you're looking at, well, which field is it? Is it that one? Is it that one? Ooh. And you keep looking for the right, for the lucky moment that the little updraft is picking you up and keeping afloat. But it's really good to see again right here that Ian, Bravo Yankee 3, seems to have found a good thermal. He is again higher than everyone else and leading the pack. So, darn it, good job.
Well done, man. Well done, and looks like it's thermaling now. Joshua Arndt is just next to him, so that's very good as well. Ryan Wood, the Canadian pilot, just a little bit below. Ben Fest as well. Arne Martin Guttler joining, so a really strong pack right there.
And Frank Schwertfeger, as we're watching him glide, is going to go through that same. He's going flying over the ridge right now, and he's going to hammer into that thermal with that speed that he has. He might be going to be he might even turn now. Now he's going right. Yep, he's turning into it, making that right turn and then go left. And he's above. He's above him. So he's actually leading right now. That's very impressive from Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, Jerome. I'll take it back. Jerome is leading. He's above all of them.
Well done. Jeroen Jenen from Belgium. Right there.
Everybody, this is a good, beautiful race, considering we're now coming close to turn point 2. And then we have that long turn point, leg 3 towards turn point 3. And this is kind of like we're getting close to any mistakes you make now will be very costly. And anybody who is in the leading pack right now in the top 10, right here that we're looking at, they have a really good chance of winning the entire race. So over there, somebody's weaving off. We said 8 kilo. Is that who it is? Yeah, 8 kilo.
Yeah, Ronnie Lindell from Sweden is right there. It's
He's choosing a different cloud.
You can see that it's still really a difficult moment, in my opinion, for the pilots here. It's really difficult. They are all low, below 1,000 meters. They need to get a good thermal, but I think there is not more than 1.5 meters per second. So it seems very difficult.
So here we go. Somebody asking, just arrived. Who's leading? Well, look at the screen. HG1 is leading by average speed, but saying that, he's also low. He's at 675 meters. That is low, folks. That is, he's looking for something heavy and good because he's close to the turn point. But then we have right here in second, which is Ian, Bravo Yankee 3. He wasn't a strong thermal. He left it already. I'm surprised. He didn't gain much altitude. He's still below 1,000 meters, but he's thinking he might find something better. Guys, be careful. Be careful. The thermals were never super good today. They were strong, but not super good. Yeah. So everybody's taking a chance right now, and the risky moment. We see Benfest right there. He's at 700 meters. So all these top 5 pilots right now are very low to the ground and taking a chance, hoping to find a better lift than they had. When we look at Jerome, he's like, no, I'm staying where I'm at. I'm staying in that thermal, and I'm going to go up with it.
Yeah.
And that's a safe way right now. That's a good, safe approach. Let's see how it plays out for him in the long run. But he's at 1,500 meters, so that's 1,500 feet more energy towards the leaders, and he ain't slow.
Look at the variometer, bottom left. It's really not strong at all. And Jeroen is waiting for maybe someone to leave. He's seeing Arthur Zuk. I think he will leave now because it's really weak thermal. Yeah.
Now it is leak. Yeah, he's leaving now. But he has 1,500 meters, so that's a strong gift right now, because you don't have to sweat it looking for a desperate thermal, because now if you don't find a thermal, guess what? You'll have to take whatever is given.
Yeah.
You can't choose anymore. You have to take whatever is left. Mm-hmm. You can see beautifully how they get drifted to the west from the easterly winds with that thermal drag right there. That's a beautiful view of how people are being pushed to the right.
Yeah. Thank you for this nice view. We've seen Bedfest doing something very different from the others, following the hills here, using the wind blowing. And he's only at 740 meters, so that's pretty low, but he will be able to join this turn point. It's not easy. I think it's going to be very tricky after turning this turn point 2 in just a few seconds. Podsreda, turn point 2, very close to the border with Croatia, and then the pilots will overfly a small part of Croatia, and we will go to turn point 3, which is the reporting point, Morska Sobot, to land in Morska Sobot airfield. Well done, congratulations, Benfest from Germany, the first FAI Virtual World Sailplane Grand Prix champion in 2021, turning the turn point 2 of this second race. Is followed by the Whiskey 22, Jim Aketkoft from Sweden, Jim the Swede, in his GS3. Well done. At 900 meters, a little bit higher than Benfest right now. I see Alpha Mike and Ryan Wood behind. Maybe Chris Keane will be the third one to cross. Yes, with Jan Benezowski. So Chris Keane on third place at turn point 2, and he is followed by Joshua Arns and Jan Benezowski just behind. And Joshua is much higher here at around 1,000 meters, probably. Congratulations, gentlemen. A good turn point, a very good turn point here. Well done.
And still, it doesn't answer the question really, who is leading per se, because of all the height difference that we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
Joshua on, yes, with his a little bit extra height, but it's not like super, super high. And Benfest is now scraping right there on the edge of the. He's scraping. He's trying to find something, desperately trying to get up. And again, we see different approaches right now. Some people fly directly towards turn point 3, others trying to find the ridge and a little cloud helping them up. And yeah, Benfest might have taken a risk there, and now he's hurting. And then Sven Olivier says, it is real fun to follow Norbert on one screen and our commentators on the others. You're welcome, and thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to our yapping. That's what we're here for.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Chris, Jeroen Jenen, Arthur Duke, really high with Jeroen. They are 1,200 meters, so they are much higher, and there are some nice cloud streets. But the way to turn point 3 is right there. You can see just below 2024 here on the screen. That's the way towards turn point 3, the reporting point and the arrival. So they need to go there, and it's not easy at all because you have the wind blowing against you. So headwind is going to be difficult for the pilots. So they want to climb now to be able then to cross to the northeast to get back to the airfield.
But here's some information for you if you ever fly on blue days. I've been taught that when it's a blue day, when you fly with the wind or against the wind, that's usually where you find the updraft. You can find the street, the energy line. So when you fly, let's in this case 68 degrees, which is directly into the wind, the chances are you'll be finding that updraft line easier than if you would fly crosswinded. So, and if you fly straight and you don't find it, choose a little bit, like go 5% to the right or to the left, and all of a sudden, bam, there it is. And then you have the energy line or the thermal that you've been looking for. So I've learned that, and that's a really good tip from some of the pilots that are in real life, and that helped a lot, especially on blue days, which I flew last Sunday. Whew, I was like, wow, I flew 200K on a blue day. It's like I could have done maybe 300. No, I ran out of time, but I've never flown a 300K, and I would like to do that. Which
it will come.
Like the gold coal, the gold one, as they say. And who do we have here? That's someone else.
That's someone else. I think it's Norbert Kiss, Charlie November. So the view from Norbert in the GS3, flying in VR. Norbert, really cool view. So thanks to him for that. And you can see that he's watching left, right to check where are the others and what are the options. You can see Alpha 33 on the left. And the cumulus clouds here, the two cumulus clouds are looking pretty good. And I hope they're going to be able, all of them, to find a good lift right there. And I think that's why they are going there. And then maybe there is a better cloud street going to the reporting point. Let's see what they can find.
By the way, somebody on Twitch says, "Hey, best viewers and followers on steamboo.com." That is incorrect. That is a flaw, and somebody's trying to trick you. Don't click on that link, and I would prefer that link to be deleted, please.
I will check. I think
because there's no such thing as Streamboo that we're streaming on. So they're just trying to lower you away from us. Don't believe that, baby Kinder. That is a bit of a false track, guys. You're on the best stream if you're on Twitch. Thank you very much. So we're still having here Robert Kiss and his view, and he's looking for something, looking for that lift, and I think not there yet. Have we found Ben Fest? Is he on the ground, or did he find something on that ridge?
I think he's still flying along the ridge to find the lift, and I think he's just next to Norbert Kister, very close to Norbert here. Let's have a look. Okay, let's go to the 2D view. Let's zoom in a little bit to see where the leaders are. What are the options taken? Again. Yeah, so I see Benfest just next to me. Alpha 33 went straight ahead. Sierra 19 as well. François Seifert as well. Patrick Médard. But we have Arne Martin Guttler, Charlie November, Bravo Foxtrot, Uwe Melzer. So all the German pilots are right there. They're all there with Norbert Kiss and with Arne Martin Guttler. And and we
What
have
are you doing behind my back?
yeah, I'm just hiding. I'm just hiding
Okay,
from.
I'm making myself a little bigger. Here we go. So anyway, we see right now three strategies. One of them, they are desperate trying to find lift. They flew back to the west, which is very odd. Flying that against the wind, I guess they would have been really low. I mean, that's Frank Schwertfeger, Victor Romeo Victor. Those are all very strong pilots, and they've chosen a very interesting path, flying basically away with a bigger, a 45-degree angle to the finish line. That is, in my book, a little against what you're supposed to do, because you have to fly that distance. You have to fly that distance again to go towards the finish line. So that's an interesting choice. Maybe they think there's some sort of lift on the ridges coming from the wind. Maybe not.
Probably maybe they will find a good better thermal air, but it's a big detour because I think they were just too low and they needed to follow the ridge to be able to stay at a minimum altitude to be able then to find a good thermal. But probably not the best option, but I think they didn't have a lot of options for that. We have Patrick Médard. I don't know where is PLT because he was leading at the beginning of the race. I see 1,302 meters for the French pilot, and he's turning the turn point to Philippe Plata right there with Tim Madsen very close to him. Marcin May, the leader from yesterday, is there 1,300 meters as well, and they are going on track right now. So everything is still possible. I see Alpha Lima 1 with Triple J in front of the race, leading the race right now. So
well,
very
Triple
good.
J is down to 1,000 meters, where Alpha 33 is also a little lower because he's not even. Oh no, he's 700 meters. Yeah. So the leading front is leading, but they are not high in altitude. Where if you look at the top 4, 5, 6, 7. They all have about, or 8, 9, they have all of 1,000 meters, but they're also behind. So we'll see how this is going to play out. Height is energy, guys. If you have the height, you're good. Just because you're in front now doesn't mean you're the winner. Whiskey 22. He is 700 and 800 meters high when he's now joining that thermal. I think if you want to go back to the 3D view, I think they just found a thermal and they're all going to jump on that, because there's a gaggle being produced as we speak. Benfest is turning even more to the east. I think he's definitely struggling. We have this is Tim Madsen.
So we are now with Norbert Kiss again, and we are on the group that is trying to climb and get a good lift close to the ridges on the east of turn point 2 right now. It's quite pretty standard and good thermal air.
For him it is, but if you wait, it's gonna come into this view right there. Not him, but there is guys in the valley, and they are very, very, very low. Right there, you see them in the bottom. They're flying in the valley, and I think it's Benfest. And them guys, they're really low. They didn't get. That's why they're flying such an odd.
Yeah.
So he got the thermal. He stuck with it, and he's saying, "Okay, I'm high enough. Let's go forward. Let's fly to the next cloud." Good choice. And I have a feeling Benfest will not do too well today.
And we see the comments bottom left.
Yeah, this is the onboard chat for all the pilots in the simulation. Have an onboard chat, so you can communicate typing or.
And I think 269 is getting back in the game because it was Philippe Plata who said basically, did you added a jet behind you because I can see that you're pushing hard now Donapierre, he said.
You see Benfest right over Antoine's head right there.
Yeah.
And I think he may have found something. There's a new
finally.
cloud building, and hopefully Benfest will catch that cloud and save himself out of that misery that he's in.
And you can see that very interesting because we have the PDA, the GPS of Norbert here, and you can see the track to Mosca, the reporting point here. You can see that they need to go a little bit to the left, okay? But the wind is coming from the east. I think if they continue on this track, it's quite good, and then they will be able to go more to the north, kind of the opposite way than what Arthur Duke has done, Alpha 33, before joining turn point 2. You remember?
Right.
They are going headwind, and then they will turn back to the north on a very good cloud street, I would say, right now. So it's not too bad for them. I think it's not done for them, and they have a good option. And let's look at Norbert taking this one. Thermaling to the left. Not easy, but he's doing his best right now.
Yeah, it's not a strong thermal.
No.
At least it hasn't centered. It's 1 meter, 1.5. Let's see if he's okay. It's getting darker and darker. If the color changes for you guys, once the color changes into the darker area, that means it's more lift. So you have the sound, you have the numbers, and you have the coloration that gives you an indication how strong the lifts are. So another 2 meter lift for him. I'm pretty sure he's going to tank up a little bit more. And how do we have here? Artois. 500 meters. At this point, guys, you better pick yourself a nice airfield, or you have a cloud in mind that will help you. But this is 500 meters, not it's ground level. But as you can see, the ground level is way closer to him.
Wow.
He's more like 300-400 meters from the ground level.
Yeah.
So,
and he should go to the left to this to the valley.
Bridge right there.
And he's gonna be stuck now going to this way, but he cannot see it the way we see it, I guess. So we will see what Arthur can do. It looks difficult, very difficult for him right now.
Right.
Let's go behind with Hotel Lima Echo, Hubert from France.
So he's the leading guy right now. He's in the lead in distance, as well as Redman right here.
Yeah, they're both
together. Really low. Really low. Actually, Hubert de Lentagenet. Did I say that right? Or how do you say that French word?
Hubert de Lantaigne.
Yeah, the French says it the way.
Just say Hubert.
Hubert de Lantaigne. Hello. But anyway, he still has a little bit of air between himself and the earth. Not too much though, but he's hoping that these clouds. It turns out these clouds are weak. Look at that. Vitold found a nice one. That's great, and he is at 1,250 meters. He is safe. He is strong. He has a good average speed. Even though I don't see him in the top 20, so he's maybe not as fast.
He's number 24 right now, so he's behind those guys, apparently. But he's still there, Witold Rozak. Jeroen Yellen, top 6, with Sean Churchill just below. Well, it's going to be difficult for Arthur Duke. I think for Hubert and David Redman, it's going to be easier if they stay together, if they stick together. You see, it's not a very easy race that we see right now.
It started off very strong, and now it's becoming more and more difficult because this plateau that we are on has a bit of higher area, right? So you have to go through it. So sometimes, I'm so high enough, and all of a sudden you realize, that's MSL rather than AGL. So the ground is closer to you than you think, and sometimes this is a misleading thing in the virtual world. That the perception of you looking at the screen in a 3-dimensional view, but in a 3-dimensional world, can be a bit deceiving. And maybe Arthur will get through this. We'll find out. Look, there's lift, but will he take it? Is the question. Is it enough? No.
Yeah, will he be able to do that? Not sure.
It's a tough one, guys. And somebody says here, Shaumon says, thermaling is cheating. Uh-huh.
I wouldn't
Well,
say that today. Yesterday, maybe. With the waves, yes, but today,
yeah.
no.
No, no. Today is a good day. If you find a good thermal, you better catch it
Yeah, yeah,
and take it. And all you guys, I really appreciate you commenting. I see the numbers have grown of viewers as we're speaking live, and being in such a unique market of a sport, of an e-sport,
yeah.
which is gliding, and as well as in the niche market of soaring in the overall. Having that many viewers right now is fantastic. I really appreciate you guys checking in. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell dong dong, and sign up with us if you haven't already. We really appreciate that. As more as we get, we might reach people that have never heard of this e-sport and have never heard of flying a glider, a plane
Yeah.
without an engine. And I know everybody who has flown and is sitting here with the real experience or the soaring experience in the virtual world is hooked. And I know I am. And here you can see Madsen flying as high as he always has all day, and he's starting to pass people left and right. He's directly towards turn point 3. You see that little red dot flying towards that beautiful big fat cumulus clouds that's shooting upward, shooting like a mushroom going up. There's probably a good thermal under there. And he's flying through that high ground with no issues because he has plenty of height, and he's passing everybody on the left, on the right. He's definitely on the English side, passing on the right. There he is.
Tim Madsen.
And look at his speed. His average speed has come up. He was always behind. He was always staying high.
Exactly.
And he knew.
He
is
was
catching.
looking for that. He was looking for that. He's always looking for this type of situation. Tim, he really knows that during 20 minutes from time to time, you have a big low in the game, and you need to stay high to be able to pass over everyone during this low time with bad thermals and so on. So yeah, he's doing a really good job, and I see Hubert and Arthur and David Redman leaning in front a little bit lower than Tim, but they are taking risk now to be able to win this this race. Hubert at 400 and, at 500 meters right now is pulling a bit, but
there's a cloud building right above him. I hope he caught it.
I think
he flew through.
Yeah, I think it's disappearing, so we will need to go to the next one. But
turn.
Low. No, it's disappearing, this one.
Oh, do you think it's disappearing? It looked like it was building. Okay.
Yeah, most probably.
So Sharman asked how close is it to the finish? They're about 50K away from the finish, I would say, 60K.
Yeah, so the total length is 235 kilometers, 235. So indeed, approximately 50 kilometers away from now. They will need to go just after those small hills. We'll get back in the flat, very, very flat areas, flatlands with Touche next to the lake, the city of Touche, and then back to the airfield.
Can you go back a little south? Did I see Victor Romeo Victor, a Whiskey Romeo Whiskey landed out? It sure looks like he has definitely stopped.
Or is he flying? He's climbing. Oh, 1,700 meters.
Okay.
He climbed.
He climbed. He got himself out of that drag. Far behind right now, but lots of height, so now he can almost fly home. You might have to find one. Tim Madsen, as you can see right now, on the blue line, having a decent height still, probably kind of catch that cloud in a moment. Everyone else turned more to the west and trying to catch that cloud street and maybe that thermal, whatever it is. It is amazing to see. And as you can see on the bottom, you see Bravo Yankee Romeo, who's really behind. He was leading the entire race until he got low, and now low and slow.
That's a very good tactical view of the situation right now. Let's stay like this. So we have Witold Rozak, 1,700 meters, but behind, I see Marcin May, Zbigniew Kos, Norbert Kiss from Poland and Hungary that are really high, just as high as Witold Rozak. more to the east. We have the Germans, Oskar Neiner, Franz Schwetzfeger, Felix Neuberger in 93. I see KMI, François Seifert, all together really high as well on track. Tim Madsen is on track and climbing. He's climbing with Ronnie Lindell and 269 probably. And in front, we can see 6 pilots, Alpha 33, Hubert, David Redman, Jim McCutcoff from Sweden, 2 Mike Charlie, and Sierra 19, who are leading but very widely spread on a fictive line here, and they need to try to climb and get a good lift. David
That
Redman with Hubert, and they are pulling,
lucky.
and we
Yeah,
have
getting.
Jim joining them. So there are 3 here trying to get the best out of this thermal, and at least it seems that they can climb. Maybe it's the time to release some water to be able to get a very strong climb, because it might be the last one for the day. Let's see what they can do. We are approaching the final glide right now.
I love it. The commentary from Shaman was a Victor Romeo Victor of Whiskey Romeo Whiskey
Yeah.
is trying to take again the wave? Question mark. Yeah.
Oh.
Not today, but nice try, definitely. But look at Tim Mutsney again, trailing behind throughout the entire first and second leg. And here on the third leg, he is up already at 1,200 meters, high and fast. This is what it counts in the end. He's probably going to go a little bit. No, he's getting out of it now. And he's going to lead this race in a moment for sure, the way this looks. For sure.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
133 kph for the leaders. It's really difficult. And Tim Madsen is flying really well, 130, 1,100 meters. And he will pass just over the leaders of this race in a few minutes. Well done. Back with Tim Madsen. Arthur Duke outlanded. I have the information.
Yeah, it says it right there on the score. It says bye-bye, disconnected.
Yeah, all said bye-bye, so he disconnected. So he's going to get 0 points for today. Don't forget to send your FTR file to condor.club, the scoring system for the race, Arthur.
Yeah, it's so you get 0 points even though you flew distance, but if you land out, that's 0 points, folks. Not like in real competition in the real world. Some people do still get points even if they land out.
It's sailplane Grand Prix scoring.
Okay, Grand Prix is different.
We are still using virtual sailplane Grand Prix scoring because it's regatta start, and we more or less all have the same gliders and so on. So we keep very easy rules for the public, and the sailplane Grand Prix ones are the easiest one to understand for the public. So we keep those rules.
Look at Frank Schwertfeger found his lift. He's definitely right now above Jerome. So very nice to see that Frank was low. He made it out.
He may be on final glide, more or less. He's more or less on final glide. Maybe we need to take 200 more meters. Maybe we'll be able to push and pull, do some dolphin to get some extra energy. But it's looking good for Frank, Jeroen Jannen and Felix Neuberger here. Andrei from Ukraine as well. Mike X-Ray, Mikko Nurminen, François Seifert in Sierra India, and Zoltan Varga and Victor Zulu 6. They are all in a very, very strong and good thermal, and they are almost on final glide right now, 50 kilometers away from the finish line.
Right. Good to see the German Frank Schwertfeger proving himself to be again a good pilot and racing right now for the podium possibly, and or for the top 10 at least. PLT, also looking pretty good right there over there to the right. He's doing he has come back. It's interesting how this race is. Oh, look at that. PLT is not doing too good. Letting go of the water. He looked good on the speed record, but now he's scraping the trees. Felipe Lata, good luck with you.
I can see a shadow on the ground, so there's probably a cumulus cloud somewhere with a thermal, but he's really flying at low speed. It's going to be difficult for Philippe right now to get
right there, 2.3, 2.6, turn.
Yeah, but he is at low speed, very low speed. with the
I
wind
thought that
pushing
might
and
have been
so
a
on.
lift, and he just missed it. I would have taken that because if you're that low, I would have taken the risk. And
Yeah, difficult, very difficult.
because there we go, Frank, back to Frank. Oscar 9, looking really good. Tim Madsen in the distance, thermaling once again, staying high and being fast that way. And very impressive. Very impressive. And the last few kilometers definitely were tough. After leaving turn point 2, going to turn point, it was everybody's like, oh, this is easy. And it turns out that it was not. The weather really got them on the wrong foot. And now you can see how it's playing out. The people who stayed high and safe are now starting to lead the race or coming close to leading the race. So that's how it is, guys. This is how real flying is, literally. Andrei Lovnuchuk.
Yeah, from Ukraine.
He made it yesterday. Yeah, he came in last though, but he made it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he made it. I'm not
That is,
100% sure.
points are points, right? I mean, we watched him yesterday. He was really trailing behind.
I need
He
to
got
check.
stuck on the leg 1, and today he's flying. He's up there. He's with them, so he's proving himself to be a good pilot. And
Well, he has won one of the races during the qualifiers, so
good.
So yeah.
So as Shannon says, AL1 was 29th yesterday. Thank you for being so aware and being more informed than we are. Oh, now he's changing it. Sorry, 30th.
Yeah. No, Andrei, he didn't completed the task yesterday. I think he outlanded or he gave up because he was really stuck behind some ridges, and it was difficult for him to continue the race after some time.
Right.
Let's
of
get
course,
back.
we have the overall results, of course, and I did
Yeah.
not click on it myself. I apologize. Of course, they are right here on condorclub.com. And if I look them all the way down, some people had 0 points. And
Yeah, a lot of them, because everyone who did not completed the task have 0 points. So. It, but John is just the last one to complete, and when you are just the last pilot, you get 0 from the. We want to give a bonus. We would like to give a small bonus when you are the last one to complete, but in the mathematical formula that we have, we cannot have the last one with a point manually. Right. We cannot make it.
So you get the wooden spoon. The wooden spoon gets you 10 points. That'd be nice. Right.
Yeah.
In the sailing world, they would say you get a wooden spoon if you came in last. So that's how that works. But here's really, again, a good overview as to where everyone is. And if you see the height on the right side, you see that beautiful height. That tells you the energy they have. And DC1, David, is at 1,700 meters. And that's really high. So he might be on final glide. But we also have to remember, folks, we're flying against the wind. Yeah. So your ground speed is definitely slowing down. And you can see how far behind he is. He is the highest on the list, or was the highest on the list. But everyone else trying to stay up. Tim Kilo Madsen, TKM, here is at 1,400 meters. And he is basically in the lead of everyone right now with 1,400 meters. Now, he is definitely very strong. And on the left-hand side, we see Whiskey Romeo Whiskey. Vitold, he is coming. He's still at 1,100 meters. And he has really caught up, considering he was almost last. Yeah. So he's caught up. But again, he has to fly against the wind. Rather than being on the line, he has to even fly more against the wind, crosswind, and towards the goal. So this is not over. Tim Madsen has a good chance of being in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah, I think we are going to have a crazy arrival. I see Philippe
Yeah.
Plata, 126 kilometers. Did they make it? Were they able to climb, Philippe and the others? Yeah, I see John Churchill, Arthur Zug, 269, a very solid, very strong group of pilots right here. TKM is with Oscar Niner or Marcin May in front. Very interesting. Uh, and they are leading. Good. But I don't see PLT. Oh,
I
okay.
see him
He's
I see
below.
him over
Yeah,
there in the
he's
distance.
below.
I don't know if
Okay.
he's thermaling or not.
I can see him now. Oh yeah,
Oh,
he's really low. He's really low. He's still continuing to go low, but he just passed over the hills. Now he's in the flatlands. He's safe, but he will not be able to climb. I
well,
believe.
900 meters. So 900 feet, 300 meters, right? No, this is more like 150 feet,
Uh,
150 meters.
yeah, but
Uh,
it's not even about. It's above mean sea level, not above ground level. So it's
right, right.
yeah, yeah, it's quite low.
This is very low.
Absolutely.
He just flew through the crowd. He didn't find anything.
Yeah,
So
unlucky.
sometimes you get lucky, but the chances are very low at this point. Low and slow. And Tim Mudson says, "Can we go in? Can we go into his cockpit view, please? Because we might be able to see if he's on final glide."
So we are passing just over it Touge city with the lake here, right here in the flatlands, in this valley, between Potsreda and the arrival, right in the middle of the third leg, joining the reporting point right now. Thank you for this
And
view.
so he can see distant DH is 18,000 meters
So
and
he's on
DDH
profile.
225. He's on final glide.
Yeah.
Well, that's for this. That's for turn point 3. I don't know if he's set to turn point 4 finish line.
So the finish line is 7 kilometers after. So I think he will set the option later on.
See, this is he's looking at Morska, which is turn point 3. There's
Yeah.
another 7 kilometers after
Yeah.
that. But he has 220 meters in the tank. I don't know if it's quite enough to make that 7K to finish. It might be
Yeah.
tough. And again, you're flying against the wind. We're still losing more height than
yeah, exactly. So we will see if he's able to do that. And he looks to be all alone here on this final glide. Oscar Niner is behind, but it's gonna be difficult for the others to push and to pass in front of Team Matten right now. A very good flight from Team Mialik North right here. So the race is longer than yesterday. You can see it, but we did not expect to have such a solid race and solid performance yesterday from some of the pilots. So it went a little bit quicker than what we expected, and today it's a little bit slower than what we expected. So it's good to see that every day is different, and today is more difficult. They are struggling. Some lows during the flight, and you can see now on the final glide they are unlucky. They are not a cumulus. There isn't any cumulus here on this final glide. It's very difficult. You need to fly 15 kilometers to get a new one, and so on. Really difficult for the pilots. Really difficult. Frank Schwetzweger is not so far from Tim Madsen. I didn't see him like this. Thank you for this view. And Jeroen Dienen is third, just behind and a little bit below for both of them. So they are on final glide. They are followed by Marcin May and Felix Neuberger behind. So very interesting view that we have. You can see Felix Neuberger in 93. François Seifert in Sierra Carinthia will go through that little cumulus cloud here. He will go through.
Yeah, you have to take it for sure. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. But again, I find it very impressive of Tim Mudson leading the race right now. And it did not look like the first hour of this race. We were like, man, he's way behind. And he knew exactly what to expect of this racetrack and of this weather. Weak thermals in the end. Bam.
Yeah.
He knew it. He has flown enough to know it. And now we're seeing the top 6-7 right here lining up. Let's see how this will end up It might be still close. And Joshua Arns is also 1,000 meters. I think he still has to tank up. Where Tim is way further forward with another 1,000. He has 1,000 meters or 950 meters. I think he is good. Yep, he has the autopilot on. That's one feature I would love to have on my label. A button that gives me the autopilot. You know, I just let go and let it do its thing. But it doesn't exist like that. You can trim your glider and you hope you fly that way, but not all the same. And look at that. I think his heart is pumping right now. And we're not going to give him. And there's a cloud building right in front of him. Look at that.
Yeah, and one on the left, which is looking good as well. But I think he's going straight forward, and he will try to do
a dolphin.
the reporting point. Yeah, the dolphin to the reporting point and the finish line straight ahead. We will see. I think François Seifert has a really good advantage on that finish final glide, because he's passing just below a few good cumuluses, so he's quite lucky.
Yeah,
I
some
see.
of this. Yeah.
Hubert, David Redman, Witold Rozak on the left, and they are at 1,200 meters as well. So almost everyone is on final glide now in this top 15. So I think it's going to be a very tight arrival, very close finish between the pilots.
Exciting!
I do agree. Really looking forward to that. It was a difficult race for them. 130 kph only, 120 for most of them. So a really difficult race in 15-meter class with 1,700 meters of ceiling. Wow, I think they were just overloaded today. Way too much water in their wings for the weather conditions.
Right. Again, I think for the first leg it was perfect.
Yeah.
Turning into second onto on the second leg, that's when you realize the thermals are not as strong. The weather has shifted slightly, and but I love this rather than just like an idiot task where everybody just makes it easily. This is a challenging task, and this is good for the World Championship. You have to have tasks that you don't have to just hold the pin forward and go as fast as you can. That's not what it's about. And yesterday's race, going into the wave as they did, that was the winning choice. And it didn't look like it in the beginning. We're like, what are they doing? And then all of a sudden, like, look at them go. So Tim did the same thing. He was high and slow in the beginning, but now he is forward and first, and impressive. It's always good to stay high. And if you can do it that way, Tim is the perfect example right here. But let's see if anybody comes from behind. The guys were a little bit higher and towards the west, if they can speed up a little bit. They're only 7-8 miles behind it. No.
Yeah, they are a little bit below, but there are 7 kilometers between the reporting point and the finish line. And must remember that the minimum safe arrival altitude at the finish line is 220 meters above mean sea level today. So they must be careful with that, because there are penalties on arrival if they are below this altitude. So we need to watch out for that. And with the wind pushing during the start and the max start speed at 170 kph, there might be some penalties tonight. So we will need to check that, obviously, as well. That's a big risk to take penalties on start.
Okay, and then there's Philo saying, hey, 2 Mike Charlie just landed out. So we have another pilot 0 scores today. And thank you for that update.
And yeah, Philippe Plata, PLT, landed out, obviously. We had the info, the confirmation that he landed out. But it looks promising for the top 20 here. They will score a lot of points compared to the others who were not able to complete the tasks today. So that's indeed, as you said, Norman, how you make the differences and how you score a lot of points to make difference at the end of the Pro Championship in the overall ranking.
Right. But the thing is, I mean, the first will get 1,000 points, but if you're only a minute behind or two, you might get 800, 900 points, you know, and that's still a really good score to take home rather than landing out. You know, landing out is not the answer in these races.
Yeah,
Landing out is 0 points. I'd take 500, 700, 800 points rather than zero. So
and we
this
are
race is not 1-in-1 race. It's 1-in-6 races.
yeah
That's the key.
we are reaching the reporting point right now with Tim Kidstrup Madsen from Denmark turning the reporting point first, and now it's straight ahead for 7 kilometers towards the finish line for Tim, always flying as high as he can and proving that it might be the right thing to do in flatlands, flying high and trying to take the good options. Frank Schwetzfeger from Germany, Oscar Neiner joining him from behind. It's going to be very, very tight with Jeroen Jennen from Belgium in the GS3 as well. We are flying the 15-meter class in Slovenia today.
They might have to let some of that water go just to stay high enough.
Yeah,
You
looking
know,
forward to this close arrival between the top 10 today. And let's continue to follow those pilots. So Frank Schwetzfeger is going to be tight between Frank and Jeroen. And let's keep an eye on the average speed on the left so that you can see who is following those guys.
well, we can see that Victor Whiskey Romeo Whiskey, when he got out of the thermal, he was at 120 kilometers per hour. Now he's
It was tight for Jeroen Jennen to pass the reporting point. I've seen him going quickly to the right and then left again. It seems to be okay. I hope for him, but it seems to be okay right now, and he's going towards the finish line. Let's not forget about Tim Madsen. Thank you. Very nice view. Felix Neuberger in 93, German pilots following them on 4th place. Marcin May, 5th position so far. And let's focus on the arrival for the winner of the day, Tim Kidstrup Madsen from Denmark. Maybe we can have the inside view afterwards from Tim crossing the line. 132,
congratulations. Well
almost.
done, Tim.
Well done,
Impressive
Tim.
fight. Thank you.
Well done.
And there
well
he
done.
is.
That's the inside view from Tim
Perfect.
Madsen. Well done.
Perfect. Yeah, he's looking at his clock and it's like, Tim completed the task. He's
Yeah.
getting 1,000 points today for sure. Unless he has some penalty points in the clouds, we don't know. Well done. Let's see how Frank and JJ Jorion, how they come. Close racing for second and third.
Let's have a look.
Because Frank is below at altitude. He needs to pull up before he gets there.
220
also
meters.
Like scraping the freaking sand ball. He's like, wow.
They are both low, but they are flying fast. They are flying fast, 200 kph. Do you have the speed for your own behind? 187 for Frank right now. Yeah, 85. It will be difficult for Jeroen, I guess, to be able to catch up. Watch out for the trees, guys.
Why?
So if you don't know, in Condor tree, everyone will have the same tree settings. It will be on high per default, and you will need to fly with those trees. You cannot
look
remove
at Frank
them
pulling up. Here we go, getting his 220 meters that he needed with enough height and enough speed.
Well done,
second place. That's a good punch, Frank.
Jeroen Jennen is at 244 meters, sorry, on third place, 131 kilometers per hour. Well done, Jeroen.
Wow, impressive. And then here, 93.
Wow, Felix Neuberger is going to arrive with low speed and low energy. Felix, you can see the small town here, small village. You can see the road, the trees, and everything going to the runway. Is going to be with really low energy.
I think he's going to make it because he has plenty of energy to pull up. But close call. Very close call.
Wow. Felix, 220 meters. You must land straight ahead, Felix, I believe.
He pulls up. He goes up 300 meters. Here we go.
Pulls, and then
That's all
Re-
he needed right there. Bam.
drop.
Congratulations, fourth place.
Well done. Release the water ballast and launch straight ahead. Is
And
the
then
best
closely
option.
followed by him by Marcin May.
Yeah. Winner from yesterday's race, Marcin on 5th place. So he's probably the leader overall of this Pro Championship tonight. Marcin scoring on 5th place tonight. A really good position for
Oh.
Marcin May. Well done.
Joshua just gave us a note saying Sarah Oscar India has a blue screen.
Aye, aye, aye. Not
That
not
is
great.
not that is he was so good too. He was in a good position as well.
Yeah,
Now a
yeah.
blue screen.
François. Oh, it's really tight between Sander and Andrei. Sander
Oh,
Terpstra.
who got more juice and
Oh,
more trust?
I think Andrei got more juice. Oh, it's gonna be tight. Oh,
Whoa!
why? Well done, Sander. Sander is in front of Andrei on this arrival, and KMI just behind. David Redman is joining with Hubert for place number 9 and 10. Well done, David from Australia. Really good flying today. And Hubert for a first top 10. A really good top 10 for Hubert, the French pilot. We have Zoltan Varga, really good young pilot, Zoltan as well. Mikko Nurminen from Finland, that we know really well, is approaching the finish line as well. Well done, guys. So Hubert, it's good for you. Zoltan Varga from Hungary, Mikko Nurminen, and behind we have Jim Haketkopf in Whiskey 22, Sean Churchill, and Ronnie Lindell in 8 kilo, the Swedish man.
Wow.
They are flying really fast and really low between the reporting point and the finish line. In between the trees,
Wow, that is just
Jim the Sweet.
no.
Nice.
Don't find any downdraft. You just scrush into the grass.
I think you are high enough, man. 300 meters. Well done. Ronnie Lindell.
And now you see how fast they're coming in. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
the speed that they're coming in, it's just seconds, 5, 10, 15 seconds difference, and bam, it makes the difference between first and 15th. I mean,
it's crazy, yeah?
Yeah. And here's Witold Wozak, Whiskey, Romeo Whiskey. There it is. Coming nice and smooth, not a meter to spare, and made it. Very strong in 16th place.
Yeah.
Super.
Well done.
And thank you all to your people out there texting, writing us on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. Please subscribe, hang that bell up there, and see what happens. Because we'll be talking about next race coming up. When is it? In 2 weeks?
It's gonna be in 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, we're gonna have 2 races in a row. Yeah, we're gonna have the results in a month approximately of this Pro Championship. We are live with Norbert Kiss, who is going to join the finish line in a few seconds, and then we will get back to the studio. You can see what it looks like, this arrival from inside.
Look at him below. He's going past them below him.
Yeah. You can see that there is another glider just below him.
And he has more speed. He could, speed up. There he is. Okay, I want to speed up now because you have the extra height. Go for it.
That's Jan Benezovsky from Argentina, and he doesn't have the trees set up, obviously. We can see that. 220. Yeah, is well done, Norbert. Very safe flying. Very well done for today. Very, very good flight. Congratulations. Be careful. And you can see the winners. And he's 19th on 19th place. And then we have Zbigniew Kos on 20th place. So well done, guys.
Okay. So I would say we'll see you all back here on Tuesday, April the 30th, as well as Wednesday, May 1st for race number 3 and number 4.
Exactly,
and we're going to be racing where?
You will see, but we're going to be racing on Arc Alpin 2 landscape, which is the huge landscape of the Alps. So we may race in France, Italy, Germany, Austria, and so on. You will see where we're going to race, but we're going to stay on this Arc Alpin.
So we're definitely one of the favorite landscapes, the AA2.
Yeah,
out there, and it's going to be an incredible racing up there as well. And this was an incredible day. Super great, fantastic racing. I like that it's difficult. I like that it was challenged. I like that not everybody was able to make it, not because of them, but because it shows us that you have to be aware however you fly and make it. And looks like somebody's in the trees down there. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Antoine, thank you for being here on my right side or your left side, wherever you are. Thank you all people out there. It's really fun. And thank you, of course, the team from behind, Jean-David, as well as Sebastien, who are making this all possible. And I'm looking forward to see you all back here in 2 weeks. I hope I can make it and be a co-host again.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. So let's see you all in 15 days from now on the 30th of April for race 3 and race 4 the day after. See you and enjoy your day or your evening. Thank you so much for following us. Bye-bye.
Tschüss, adios, goodbye, au revoir, whatever you want to call it.